right now. Many thanks for joining us. You're just in time for the big conversation here on KTN Prime. And I'm joined by a very honorable lady, a lady who has been in the forefront, or rather on the forefront, of championing for the welfare of women and children. Not in recent times, but also way back in the early 2000s. Of course, also championing and advocating for the welfare and the rights of women and children, an advocacy that led to the birth of, or rather the coming up of the foundation dubbed the Cradle Foundation, a foundation that helps and even provides legal aid to women and children, and of course pays close emphasis to their welfare. And of course, as we speak today, the issue of missing children here in the country continues to raise serious concerns as thousands of families live in despair and in agony, wondering where their children are. Reports of missing children are growing by the day, and they are looking at the government for help. Of course, despite being in that particular field, she later on proceeded to be elected as a member of National Assembly. And even in the National Assembly, she has continued to champion for the welfare of children and women. And of course, she's here to help us dissect and make sense of the current situation, a crisis that continues to unfold here in the country. I'm talking about the one and only Honorable Millie Odhiambo, the Member of Parliament for Suba North. Many, of course, know her as Bad Girl Millie. Very good evening to you.
Good evening, and how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Of course, many thanks for gracing this particular set, despite it being a public holiday.
Thank you.
Now, let's begin with, the current situation. There have been reports of thousands and thousands of missing children, and families are living in agony. I don't know, first of all, from where you sit, as someone who's been in that space of advocating for children since the 2000s up to now in the National Assembly, where's the problem? What is happening?
First of all, let me just say that it's actually alarming when you look at the figures that were being cited by the Ministry for Children Affairs, by the PS for Children, Caroline, and not Caroline, Miss Agengo. And what is alarming is, even though, because we're talking about a figure of 10,000 children, but she said the 10,000 children includes, all category of cases that they are receiving. But she still reduced it to an alarming figure, because it's almost a figure that shows us that on average about 23 children disappear per day. I think on a normal day in a working nation, that is something that should call us to shut down for 2 days. It's crazy because, at first I thought it was just, the normal social media banter. That people were talking about people arrested with the 10 children, like some MKU students that were trafficking 10 children, that there are, a whole lot of issues that are brought on social media. But the government actually did confirm, and other civil society organizations, that they're dealing with, or we are dealing with a crisis of children who are either being stolen or, not either, but are being stolen for different, reasons.
Okay.
One of the reasons is, of course, that they are being used for sexual exploitation. Some of the children are being, stolen for labor. Third reason, of course, is rituals, like the case that we are seeing of 10 children from MKU. They were saying that they've been stolen for rituals. And others, of course, it's for, different purposes. And I think either way, whatever the reason, and one of them actually is that there are women also who are childless, who want to have children, but the adoption process may be a bit daunting for a lot of people. A lot of people don't know that they're actually children who are looking, for parents to adopt them. I sat in the committee, or the adoption committee of the Child Welfare Society of Kenya for a long time before I joined Parliament. And one of the things that we noticed is that many people are looking to adopt children. And there are many people who don't also want their children. So you find there are parents who are throwing away their children because they're either too broke to take care of them or they're too young to take care of them. So what we need to do as a country is find a way of connecting in cases of where you have parents who are not able to take care of their children and are willing to give them away. They don't need to sell them.
Fair enough. Just to paint a clear picture of the numbers, there are 10,581 cases of missing children. Of course, that includes abandonment, which has over 6,800 children, abduction, 1,952, child trafficking, 173, just basically missing children, 1,636, and unaccounted for children who are, the number currently stands at 2,328. Let's go straight to it. From where you sit today, do you feel the government has done enough to help these families? Because listening to their ordeals, some of them say they've tried to seek help, even in police stations, but the help is not really forthcoming. There's a case of a lady in Komoroki in Nairobi whose 2 kids disappeared earlier this month. And she said she went to different police stations and she got an OB after around a week of going to different police stations to report, and they'd only tell her, leave your mobile number, we'll call you. So from where you sit, is enough being done to begin with?
I think if, because there are different intervention levels, some people will report to the children department, and I happen to know that they are very severely understaffed. So maybe we should start from the point of we need to staff or give the children department, enough personnel to enable them deal with cases like that. And then, of course, our police, there's a problem. There's a problem with our police. I was listening to news yesterday, and what I saw was that there were 3 young men who were killed by the police in 3 different, police stations that are nowhere near each other. And we have come to normalize things like that. And it's not right to normalize the fact that young men can go to police stations and die. And that's why I'm saying that there's something wrong with the security sector. Our priorities are completely wrong. We are chasing squirrels instead of actually looking at real issues that are affecting the community, like children who are, who have disappeared. That is what we should actually be prioritizing over, small things. And I don't know what we need to do, because our police have also gone through, sufficient training over time. And I have no clue why it's taking a while to have that change, in culture of the police. So for me, that's one of the problems that we have. The police, of course, are also fairly understaffed. If you look at other countries and you compare our staffing levels with countries that are sufficiently managing, then our population of the citizen to the police is very, very low. So also maybe that could be a factor. But beyond that, I think also we need to change the culture and our mindset as the police. Sometimes there's a case I'm dealing with right now. And you wonder why, I don't want to share what it is. Okay. But you actually are. I mean, it doesn't relate to me, but somebody I know that the police are giving him a really difficult time over, it's a much ado about nothing. When children are disappearing and we are following nonsense, Okay. It doesn't help. Okay, yeah.
Fair enough. I want us to take a brief breather and continue this conversation and even hear what police spokesperson Mr. Mushui had to say in regards to the same, and then you'll react to that. That will be in a moment. Please stay with us.